Just looking on the daily, 700 sort of level. It's back at a previous consolidation ceiling from a while ago. Crude has just jumped to the top of this contract's price, made a heavy push up over the last 2 days, Friday and Monday, and you can see silver and gold. Looking at Nasdaq here, seeing the 900 as a tagging point. The range has been a bit all over the place today. Hit the 865 a couple times and has just come down to try it again. 850, 860. Not looking too good, and this is the most interesting thing here. Short here would be the move, but something about the day profile is giving me hesitation. Nasdaq is just hovering here at 900. The longer it does so, the more it makes me feel like a short is a good move, but what I said before still holds. This drive up from the low and the breakthrough of the 860. Seen a slight push down from the 900, went as low as the 880. Possible second entry here, although nothing has developed to give me more confidence, perhaps, other than this little push down from the 900. Back up at the previous entry. Suck it in. Let's see. Should have got a much better entry if I was really eyeing up this move. It's just sitting at my entry. There's a good chance I'll just get stopped out. My stop loss is actually still within the range, so yeah, should have snatched the better chance. Should have got the better price. The fact that I'm sitting in the red for half the time of this trade means that I could have got a better price if I had just waited. Many opportunities have been offered. Too much pressure on my take profit because of the poor entry. Of course, sod's law, every time I quit early, it goes straight to my target. So, what did I get? 10 points on Nasdaq. Could have had the full 15. Could have had the full 15 if I'd held on, which I knew was the right thing to do. Oh well. The lesson here is that I need to be trying to get that price.
Katie loves you.
Nasdaq ended up coming down to the 860. That's as far as I would have expected it to come. It might come further, but this was the only place I had it. I was watching Devon Townsend and entered another short trying to play the same move. Seems like a decent setup, but of course I ended up taking a loss. Could potentially take another short here. Still betting against the breakout. Of course now anything I do is a make back trade, so it's a bad look. Shouldn't have been entering the distracted. Just trying to stay relaxed. So it's holding above the 900 now. Certainly seems like it's happy to stay above the 900 for now. It's just trying to break through it again here. Difficult not to bail here. Cutting it. Yeah, just like the first time. go straight to your target as soon as it's done. So, what was that? 90 loss and 60 loss and 90 win. I'll have to calm down now. Just analysing these trades now, each one of them I'm happy with on principle, but I'm not happy with the execution of any of them. Both of these, I guess the entry price here was good, but the exit was terrible. Should have just held it. Same goes for this one, and the entry price was bad. This loss actually I think was a decent move. Unfortunately, as hard as that is to swallow, I think that was actually perhaps my best executed trade tonight was the one I lost. Although perhaps I didn't give it enough time to develop up here. It had plenty of time to mature here, plenty of time to mature here and here and here. Could have entered here. This was a good price, but there was opportunity to get the same price later. This was too rushed, perhaps. That's something I could say. Again, I was distracted watching something, but the principle was there, but I guess, yeah, what I'm looking for is, what I'm talking about is this idea of maturity. Just one of my weird semantic things that I come up with. All the other markets aren't really looking like I want to get involved. Gold and silver are acting strangely, drooping down. Okay, this maneuver on Nasdaq is becoming a little bit too chaotic now, so I'm just going to back off from it. I had two good opportunities here. Didn't make the most out of it, but ended up without a loss, so what more can I ask for, apart from £1 million every day for the rest of my life? I say I'm stepping away from Nasdaq, but I'm still keeping an eye on it actually. This 860 level is interesting, although perhaps the profile of this is making me think, I don't know, the tides are changing. Perhaps the profile of this is making me feel like the tide is changing. I felt like it had upwards drift, but it might be changing to downwards drift, but I don't know. So I'll just watch. Still don't really see anything developing on the other instruments. Silver looks a little bit too crazy. There's no real, there is a range here, and it's just broken through, and obviously the move would be to come back into the day's range, but I'm not feeling very confident about this. I'm not sure exactly what it is. I think there's just a lack of uniformity, perhaps. Same with gold. It's had a general lean down all day, but what's this? 680 level has been a bit of a level, and it's just pushed down below it, making a new low for the day at 675. Again, I'm not going to try and enter in either direction. Silver could continue down, but yeah, better just to watch them. This was great. This developed into something nice. Back at the 65 here. Just keeping an eye. Don't intend to enter. Going long would be the move though. Perhaps a small spill past it, recover, rotate. Or a V bottom and just go straight back up to the 900. Or break past it and go all the way down to 0. Still not seeing anything developing on the other instruments. Perhaps crude. It's not really developing a setup, but it's the most interesting out of the other two. The silver and gold, just not really interesting me tonight. So yeah, seen some spill out and then return to the 860 and potential rotation coming here. Still nothing coming up on the other instruments. I don't see how they can develop into anything interesting tonight. I've probably seen my 2 opportunities tonight. And that's okay. Fumbled them, really. But still learn a lot, hopefully. Maybe. Nasdaq has crawled its way back up to the 900 again. Interesting to see what will happen here. There's a bit of a skateboard. Spill out and come back. Might see an overcorrection. Or it could just tag the 900 and then come down from there. I think I'm not going to act here. Although a short is tempting. Not feeling so confident for a short here now. Might still be the right move, but we'll see. Microphone is running low on battery, so it keeps cutting out. Could see an overcorrection here, spill out, or a breakout. Just keeping an eye on crude here. Bounced off of the 77.50 in the morning sell-off, came back to test it in the afternoon, and we're now revisiting it right now. In fact, we've just bounced off of it. The structure is spread out over the last 3 hours, so it's quite large. Not sure if it's really my setup, but still interesting to watch. So I'll just keep an eye on it. I'll put it down here. Perhaps it will move without me. The spill out down to the 45 at lunchtime. We've just come to the 50. So I suppose it's retested it now. Also tagged the 78.10 twice. Found that. It's quite nice. Nasdaq is climbing up from its afternoon low. Tagged its low again, spilling out slightly, and then has recovered. This move doesn't look too bad on Nasdaq. Where was it? This is going to be around 10 to 6, somewhere around here. Potential short entry, but perhaps not. There's a chance I would have entered short here and been stopped out, but I don't know. Could have entered short here and got that as well, so I don't know. It's all part of the learning. Just going to keep an eye on gold for the 85, 86 level. Not that that would be an entry. But just want to see what happens when it gets there, if it gets there. Any other interesting levels? Not really. It's a bit strange today. I wasn't going to be able to enter this on crude. Got some fairly solid direction looking type price action on Nasdaq, but it's got so many steps here where it can stop. It makes me not want to get in on it. Gold's crept up to or just about to tag the 86 level. The upwards move on Nasdaq is maintained. It's just been nice to watch it go. Could come all the way to the morning opener at 21.019. Numerous chances to enter. I don't feel like it's my trade. Crude oil is coming back down again to potentially test the 77.50. Not the strongest recoil away from it after its last attempt. Gold is rotating around the 84, came up to 85, didn't quite make it to the 86, and now it's trying to start tunneling around here at the higher end of this morning range. There was a lot of wicks around half through. Gold is still just tunneling here at around the 85. I'd like to see some range expansion. Nasdaq is just in a creep mode at the moment, which is taunting me. Nasdaq's rotating around the 21,000. Awkward, because had a decent amount of momentum to watch it carry on like this, although perhaps that's arguable, I don't know. However, looking over the whole day, like I said, there are too many sticking points that I had to go through. I had a step here, which it was, until 6:30, where it got to the 9:30 level, it was still range bound. And then it comes up to here, and then it has another sticking point here, another sticking point here, and then you're back at the entry, at the open. So, yeah, I was watching direction with a decent amount of momentum and plenty of opportunities to get in, but the road ahead wasn't clear. I suppose that's similar to my observation that the range-bound trades might occur, but if the brackets that they paint are overlapping with very recent other brackets, then it's not clear enough and it can be quite muddy. Hopefully that makes sense when I listen to it back. Gold has just tagged the 86 and is wicking down from it. And crude is trying to pull away from the 7750, but still seems to be attracted to it at the same time. So we're rotating around the 7760. Could see a range, could see some kind of rhythm develop here on crude. Either way, all of the instruments are sort of up in the air at the moment. Could see a retest of the high of day up at the 88. Seeing Nasdaq just tunneling around the 21,000 again. This isn't really lending itself yet. I want to see it get stuck here for a little longer. Still a potential for a turnaround, I suppose. And come back down. We're at yesterday's close. Just keeping an eye on crude here at the 7780 level. It's been a bit of a rotation point for the whole day. Hasn't quite managed to return to the 7750 level. Sitting just at this rotation here. My move for the Nasdaq here would be to fade this back into the range, but this range hasn't really matured yet, and it's at a point, and it's at a place where it could potentially just turn around. So I might see this come up, at which point it might be nice to reevaluate its attempt at the 09 or the 010 if it can reach there. Unless it matures here for a bit. Don't have to trade it. Of course, if I do see it come up, then that will take a toll on my emotional stamina. Gold has come up to tag its high of day again. We'll see what happens here. It looks like it's had a strong push up, so you can see a potential break. The fade would be my move. But the profile of the day isn't really lending itself for an entry. Okay, so it looks like Nasdaq's managed to climb its way potentially up to the 9. Could see a spill out, perhaps up to the 15, or it might just tag the 10 again and come back. There we go, flicked out. Bollocks. Well, I was nearly there, had my finger on the button, but perhaps last night's price action is still haunting me. Oh well, that would have probably worked. That's okay. I was keeping my eye on crude as well, just tagging this double level here at the 85, 86. It's definitely ended up in a range here, but it's just a little bit too unpredictable. A potential second entry on Nasdaq. Didn't manage to follow through on that return to the range, however. Hoping to see it come down to at least the 82, 84, maybe. Just bouncing around the 21,000. Missed the second entry on here again. The profile wasn't quite how I liked it, but I was about one heartbeat away from entering here and nearly here. Would have had to be even faster here. It is a very tunnelish sort of profile, but still. Also, crude has just tagged its low of day for the third crude as well. Totally forgot that there was news at 7. Don't really remember anything occurring. There's more coming up at 8. I think this will be a really interesting episode to rewatch. For the action on Nasdaq and crude, and my behaviour and my commentary. Difficult price action. It's interesting. I'm not going to try and look for a short on Nasdaq unless I see potentially a spill out and then something similar to this, or just generally some maturity here. It could come straight down, but that's not what I'm looking for. Bittersweet looking at the crude here, knowing that I entered long right here. And the only reason I exited was because I felt like I was making up. Even though the principle of the idea was sound and I had been eyeing up crude the whole time, and my commentary might reflect that, I entered sort of impulsively after watching 2 missed opportunities on Nasdaq. Knowing that I had entered impulsively, I just exited with a scratch, as opposed to holding on. I think maybe emotionally that was the correct thing to do, but the trade was sound and it did work out. That's life. Just watching it around the 21,000 again. Wary of a spill out. I don't want to hesitate too much either. Also, I don't want to get the price too low. considered just shutting my eyes. See how it turns out there. I think that's probably going to be me done for tonight though. Yeah, that's probably would have hit my target. Yeah, that would have hit my target. I was too drained, too invested in this stuff. It's okay, it's like a muscle. I'm really happy with my entry. That's something to take away. I'll let this play out and I'm going to stop the recording. So yeah, you can see it's come down, smashed way past our target, and now it's developing here, which should be a long position really, but at this point I think I'm emotionally too tired, plus also physically breathless, wary of a potential spill out to the downside as well. As I was just saying to Katie, so she can listen to it all again, I feel like this concept of emotional stamina, you have a bar for every session, and every moment like this, or eyeing up this or this, and everything that you do other than just passively looking for levels of interest. Everything that requires engagement and eyeing up and decision making just drains that bar, and the lower that gets, the worse your emotional discipline becomes, and the worse your decision making becomes. Hopefully that's something that gets stronger as you gain experience. I loved this trade. I really liked this entry as well. Perhaps I would have held on if I had more stamina left. This entry on crude as well was a rare opportunity, only exiting because I felt I entered impulsively. My eye was on NASDAQ. However, the level of crude was one that I was keeping an eye on. Generally, as for a session as a whole, saw it rotate and mature down at that level. So I snatched along. I think it was a good decision to bail due to my emotionally compromised state. Coming up to 8 o'clock now, so there might be some movement for the news, but I'm going to call it a session there. Happy with this entry. That's my main takeaway. I've just got a little window of time here before dinner's ready. We're running a little late tonight, so just going to have a cursory glance at the price action for today. Crude has had a general drifting up. NASDAQ has been very flat, which can offer opportunities sometimes, although it doesn't look like anything's coming anytime soon. Gold and silver look similar. For some reason I just like having NASDAQ on top. Looks like there could have been something here on crude around 10 to 6. This 79.40 level seemed quite good. Just had a failed tag of it just now. So yeah, just touching base while waiting for dinner. No setups as of yet. This might just be an observation session. I've been finding it really useful watching the sessions back during my lunch breaks. It's tempting to think that I've never made progress at all in this endeavour, but when I think about this time last year, I felt wild. This feels deliberate. Stressful day at work. This needs to be a sort of meditation, and it has sort of become that way. Probably the strangest form of meditation. Although bench press and deadlifts is also my meditation, and that's high stress, arguably. This is a different kind of high stress. I'm going to stop rambling now. This ceiling on Nasdaq at 21,400, I'll just call it the 400. Ceiling at Nasdaq at 400 is the most interesting level of that I've seen today. But not really seeing an entry anywhere, and nothing that's really taking my fancy for a trade entry. Totally fine with that. Crude is hitting the 65, 79.65. Again, no entry there, just an interesting observation. Gold's coming up to test its high of day. Roughly 719. If I see a sort of maturity develop here, then it might be interesting. I'll be heading off for dinner soon anyway, so I'll likely miss anything that develops here on gold. The markets aren't looking too nice for me at the moment. That's fine. I've had a really fucking rough day. Also, I might be ill. Could see a drop on Nasdaq here. In the next 10 minutes. Potentially come down to the 65, 365. Who knows? This would be the price to short at silver. At Nasdaq if I was more convinced by it, but I'm not. Gold and silver are rotating around the high of day at the moment, or have tagged the high of day rather. Okay, I'm back. It looks like gold has just hovered at the high of day here. Just sitting down and looking at this level. That's a short really, but I don't like the profile of it. Plus I've just sat down. Nasdaq rotated around the high of day, had some opportunities, maybe, sort of, not really, possibly here, but nothing high conviction really. And it's just crept up and making new highs for the day. And crude is now ranging around the 820, looking like I might just sit these out. I'll keep an eye on crude and gold. Looking at this 719 on gold, that was a decent setup. I've sort of resigned myself from today's session, but that was a decent setup. This is a sort of decent setup on crude, but looking a little bit uplifty. Struggling to keep my eyes open. In the past, that has almost always ended up with me taking poor decisions. I might actually reserve this next hour of price action for the weekend. Although saying that, gold is now coming up to a level I like. Silver is pushing higher as well. I'd be too wary of a potential spill out. Poke up here to enter here, which is what we just saw. If I were to enter this, I would want the best price I can get. I don't want to enter here, I want to see it come higher. Must be very low volume. Okay, it's gone without me. Both silver and gold are at a ceiling here. It would be a rough entry on either of them. Should have been paying attention here, that was good. I don't like the look of short on silver here. Gold's offering a second entry at the 19.1. I suppose 19.1 second entry here was probably acceptable. I'm wary of my weary state. Had multiple opportunities to get 19.2, 19.1, second entry 19.2, 19.1, even 19. Just came down to the 18. Could have had my 10 ticks. Well, that's okay. I might pack it in for tonight. I'm feeling pretty wrecked. But a great demonstration of my setup. When I originally turned up tonight, I think I knew this was going to be an observation session. I can watch the last hour of this session on the weekend, which will be good. Okay, hello. Got in at a good time today, so 7 o'clock. Let's see what happens. Gold is looking flat, back at the opening range here. We've had a big sell-off after the afternoon in Nasdaq. Crude is in no man's land at the moment, and we've had a big sell-off in silver as well. If we look on the daily, so it looks like crude made a new high yesterday and is now falling down. Gold is sitting at a recent top. So yeah, could see Nasdaq come down to as low as the 200 or 210. News. What are we? Thursday. Everything's done, so no news. Okay, let's sit tight and see what we can find. Just keeping an eye on gold here. We've got a level, I think, at 750. The 750 from this morning was a bit of a ceiling, punched up below it, above it, came down, broke through, held. So 750 looks nice. This isn't mature enough to be looking for an entry, but I saw a break below it from this sell-off, and then a quick revisit, tag it, come down. Now just tagged it again. So just keeping an eye on it. That's all that I'm seeing at the moment. Nasdaq is looking a little interesting, but still settling in from its big sell-off. And here comes my beautiful smooshy girlfriend, Katie. Gold is still rotating around the 50, and Nasdaq has seen a strong punch up, just tagging this wick from the afternoon. I still feel that this range isn't as mature as I'd like. But I also could just be hesitating. I'm not so interested in looking for a long on this zone here on gold. This was my entry here. I felt that the maturity hadn't developed, and for sure it was very brief. That would have been a good entry there. And I'm not just saying that because of hindsight. Even if I was allowing for a potential pop-up or maturity to develop, I had quite a good option for an entry price there. Similar thing could be said for now here, but my conviction is less for a long at the bottom of this range. What is this level even? 48? I don't like the look of 48. It's sort of a rotation point. Interesting to see what might happen if we return to the 50. Nasdaq is trying to establish direction, but it's finding it's got some barriers to compete with from the morning's lows. Price is maturing at the bottom of this range on gold now. 482, setting at 485. Starting to get tunnel vision on this gold range. Got my eye on gold still here. Nasdaq's looking very volatile. Could see a return to the bottom here. I'm trying it on gold here, although I sense it's the wrong move. I sense that I should bail on gold. A poor trade, but I managed to get out with it. Ah, there it goes. Oh well. Where did that just come to? That came within one tick of my profit target. Oh well, that'll be a good one to watch. That was a very risky move anyway. The level I'd entered was hardly established. A decent amount of maturity here in the middle, but this range was... yeah, that was stretching it for me. It's okay. Also interested in silver. It seems to be in a similar sort of position as gold at the moment. I'm always hesitant with range-bound trades on silver though. This looks like my setup on silver, but range-bound trades on silver are a different beast in my opinion, in my experience. I much prefer direction on silver. However, this is my setup, or it was until it just dropped. I am tired, so I need to remember that. One day my back will be feeling all better and I won't have to take medication that makes me drowsy. This range on gold is melting into a tunnel at the moment. Could see a pop up to the 50 again and at some point, or we're going to see a breakout to the downside. It has established a bit of a floor here at the 48. I don't like the action on Nasdaq tonight, and I don't like the action on crude oil. It's gold and silver. Nothing's really developed. Silver is still just hovering at the top of the range here. In fact, unlike the other instruments where that would normally give me confidence because of the maturity, this is just too clunky and I don't like it. So I'm not going to trade it. I managed to take a tiny, pathetic little, measly little win of £8. That could have actually been my full target, but whatever. Not seeing anything decent set up here. Although, if we look at silver, yep, it played out nicely there. That's a bit annoying. This would be my fade trade again on gold, but I don't really like this profile. This was risky enough. I'm building a good sense of the trade I'm looking for, and I'm also building a decent amount of confidence in it the more I watch price, and I think now I'm drifting towards the process of cherry picking the best ones, because losses suck. And if I lose a trade, but it's a cherry-picked one, then that's okay. But if I lose a trade, like if this hadn't worked out, that would have sucked. Because it was a C+ grade at best. This would have been a B or an A+, an A grade, but I was just nervous about silver. It usually has treated me poorly with range-bound trades, but this is much nicer. If the colour of the candles were different, like it was gold, I would have definitely been shorting here. Silly. It's nice to see this work out on silver. I really ought to have been entering there. It was almost a superstitious reticence based on my biased opinions of silver. That's okay. Nasdaq has soldiered its way back up, inching up ever so slightly at a time. Certainly not going to take a directional play on it, but it's good to watch. Okay, so the range is broken down on silver here. Had a push down from this floor that it had created. Of course, it still had this spill out level here, which it tagged and had a small bounce off of. These are 2-minute candles, so this range is quite long in the tooth now. I never use that phrase. It's quite old now, so this spill out here would have been a snap entry just for a small move, but I don't know. I was watching it and decided not to enter. It's tricky to figure out why I didn't enter. Perhaps when I watch the replay, I'll feel the same way. Often by the time I actually end up re-watching these replays, it's been so long that I've totally forgotten about this scenario. That's been one of the best things about watching my compilation videos. This year is going to be a good year of growth for my brain. I might stop here for tonight because I can't see anything realistically setting up in my favour. Nasdaq has done its creeper mode all day, all evening, which I don't like. I mean, not that I don't like it, but I can't find an entry for it, and I don't want to start trying because that's a little bit too close to the wire for me. This is nice. This is gambling. This is, I don't know, sketchy. I mean, how the hell are you supposed to enter this? You just wait for these big drops. How do you know that's going to be, whatever? Like, should I enter long here? It's just not, I don't like it. Where are these big drops happening? Right at these stair-step levels. Big drop there, when it tags these two, comes up here. Big drop there. Again, that's tagging the bottom of this zone. Big drop here, tagging the bottom of this zone. Any one of these points could be the end of its rally, so this is why direction is so tricky.